Hey everybody, it's Marie, the Everyday Mother, bringing you today's Daily Mother Mythbuster. So I was having this conversation with my dad today, and I have 4 kids, and it's been a while since he's had kids at home. We're all grown and out of the house, and he looked at me, he's like, man, watching your 4, I wonder how on earth I did 8. And I'm sure that you guys, if you have kids, whether it's a lot or a little, you probably get this all the time, like, whew, how do you do it? I was walking out of McDonald's the other day, and all of the little ducklings, my little kids, were following behind me, making sure they had their toys for McDonald's and whatever. Had to cross the street, with all of them, and some guy was walking out, and he held the door for me, which was really kind, and he just kept saying, how do you do it? No, seriously, how do you do it? And the truth was, I didn't have an answer for him. The truth is, you just do it. You just do it. And I talk a little bit about this in my book, Confessions of the Everyday Mother, and what my theory behind it is. But today I'm gonna talk about a little twist to that theory that I recognize today. Now, you can see someone who has one child and is completely drowning. I mean, just completely drowning. Or you can see someone that has 13 that seems like they have it all together. So what's the difference? What's the difference between having that person that has 1 and that person that has 13? I think a big thing is perception. I think if you're okay with 1, you're going to be okay with 13. If you're not okay with 1, you're not okay with 13. It's just perception. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, either way, you're probably right. Your perception is telling you something. It's a dictator of how you're going to react. So if you're struggling with 1, you're going to struggle with 13. But the thing I want to consider today is that those struggles are trying to tell you something. That every time you feel stressed or a struggle or any one of those emotions, fear, frustration, anger, all of those emotions that are not positive emotions are there to tell you something. And those are gifts. Those are gifts you get to look at and allow to teach you something. Behind those struggles, there's probably some sort of limiting belief. It could be something like, if you're stressed, you could really be stressed out about taking care of another human being, thinking maybe you're not good enough. Maybe you can't do it. What happens if something goes wrong on your watch? I mean, all of these things that subconsciously we're thinking and feeling that could have been instilled in there and who knows when. All of those limiting beliefs, if we don't acknowledge them, are going to continue to create struggles. And those struggles will continue to show up until we learn. And then it will probably be another struggle, and then we get to learn again. But all of those struggles are teaching. So if you're having those thoughts, even if they're subconsciously, I can't do this all by myself. Oh, my husband's not around enough to do this, to help me with this. Oh, I can barely do 2. How would I do another one? So if you're having these thoughts, here's what I want to know, and here's what I want you to consider, and something that I have just learned and I get to consider too. So when those thoughts arise, I want you to think about that thought, and I want you to think, who would I be without this thought? Who would I be without this thought that I can't do it? I don't want you to let go of that thought. I want you to just think, what difference would it make in my life if I thought that I could do it? And then allow that to sink in and allow that to process. What stress is that thought creating? And what stress could you relieve if you chose to meet that thought with understanding? So a great book to be able to figure some of this stuff out is called Loving What Is. And that's an amazing book because she goes in depth in how to meet these struggles and how to meet them with understanding and how to understand yourself through these thoughts. And how to use these thoughts to become stronger and better. Isn't that what this is for? Isn't that what this amazing journey is for? Would it be worth it to let that thought go? To let that limiting belief go? Now, some of you may be thinking, wow, I only have 1 and I'm struggling. Does that make me a bad mom? The answer is no. No! That's what I'm trying to say. No, if you're struggling with 1, that's okay. That's okay. That's what it's for. These struggles are a gift. And when you're struggling, it is a gift. And when you can see it as a gift and when you can allow you to teach you something, that's when you just get a chance to be stronger. That's all it's for. There's no reason to feel like we are bad mothers because we're struggling. How many times and how many mothers do you know that are struggling and beating themselves up for it? How much better would this world be if we as mothers stopped beating ourselves up for the struggles and congratulated ourselves for them? Said, awesome, I have another struggle. Let's figure out what this is teaching me and let's move on. Let's move on. That would be an amazing, powerful shift in this world if every mother stopped beating themselves up and allowed these struggles to just be, and allowed them to love themselves for them, and allowed them to see the struggles not as weaknesses, but as strengths trying to come out. Strengths fighting their way to emerge, to becoming even better mothers. You're already a great mother. These struggles are teaching you how to be even better. So that's my thought for the day. Head over to mothermisstribe.com and let me know what you think. Cannot wait to see you there.